Hey everybody, it's Dragon Tears here. So, with the Polish operator coming out with the Hong Kong operators next month, I thought I would do my traditional operator or CTU predictions. And we already know it's going to be the JW Grom, or in Polish, the Jednotka Wojskowa Grupa Reagowania Operacyjno-Manewrowego. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry if there's any Polish people watching. In English, that means Military Unit Group Operational Maneuvering Response. They have 650 operatives, and they went active on July 13th, 1990. It was a direct result of 2 Polish diplomats being killed in Lebanon. They are quite renowned in the CTU world, and they have worked with many of the CTUs that we see in the game right now, such as the SAS, Navy SEALs, GSG-9, JTF-2, and even the ARW, which, if you have watched my channel before, you know I really want to be in the game. So getting right into the actual operators, I'll start with the attack operator. Now for the attack operator, I have 3 suggestions for his guns actually. The first suggestion, I think it will be the KBK UKM 2000. This is actually a Polish LMG. It fires a 7.62 by 51 round and has either a 100, 200, or 250 belt, and it fires at 650 RPM. This would put it along the lines more of Fuse's LMG, and I think that would be good because it would be a slow firing but heavy hitter and maybe have not as high recoil, kind of like the UMP. Now for the assault rifle, I actually have 2 suggestions. I have either the F2000, which you all know, 5.56 with 850 RPM and a standard 30 round magazine. But the other option that I thought was, this is currently looking like it might be the new standard issue rifle for the Polish army, and that is the MSBS. It fires the 5.56 round at 725 RPM, and once again has a 30 round magazine. On top of that, it is also a bullpup, which we don't really have that many in the game. We have the L85 and the AUG, and that's all I can think of right now, if you don't count Glaz's rifle and Fuse's LMG. Getting into his gadget, I couldn't see anything significant from what my research did, so I thought of an idea that would be cool for the game, and it actually is a new shield operator, but let me explain. Originally, I thought of this simply because I was looking at Fuse's profile picture, and it shows him holding his rifle and his shield at the same time. Now, no, I'm not saying using your rifle and a shield at the same time. What I'm saying is that he can carry a shield on the back while using a primary, or he can switch it out and 2-hand the shield, so you wouldn't have a pistol, but in exchange, it would be more of a tower-like shield. Not as good as Montaigne's, let me say that. It won't block from the sides, the top. He won't be a mountain, per se. He'll just have a more protective shield. And then this is where the actual cool part is, and I think it could be used kind of like a deployable shield. He can set it down and kick out a little stand and have it used as, well, a deployable shield, and then from there he can pull out his primary and have access to a secondary again, with the added benefit of, well, he has more cover. This could be useful for when you're in an objective room and you start securing it. You set down the shield, and from there you can watch the entrance to the room while in cover. Moving on to the defense, and also for his name, I thought it would be Wall in Polish, which means rampart. And I think that's really a good idea, or a really good name, because ramparts, if you don't know, are the part of the castle where you took cover behind and shot arrows from effectively. Now, moving on to the defensive operator, I think he will have the PM06. The PM06 is actually the more modern version of the PM84, which is the more modern version of the PM61, I want to say. I could get that wrong. But the PM06, not only does it have a tack rail on top for an optic and a tack rail for a grip, it is 9mm, fires at 650 RPM, and has a magazine size of 25. This could go along with the UMP very nicely. The UMP is low magazine, slow firing, but it might hit a little bit harder, just like this one might. And for the shotgun, admittedly, this one isn't used by the Grom, or by Grom, but the only other shotgun that they use, very rarely might I add, is the Remington 870, which is already in the game. So, after looking at a couple shotguns that I feel would be pretty cool in the game, I came up with the FN SPL, which is Shell Loading Police. It's 12 gauge, and it has either a 6, 7, or 8 round capacity, but the one that I'm showing you now is 8 rounds. Now moving on to his gadget, I feel like this might be... I feel like they might be well armored. We might get like 2-3 armor operators, and just like how the defense or the attacking operator has a shield, what if the defending operator had a kind of bulletproof gadget case? Well, what comes to mind when I think of this is actually like the cameras from Payday 2. How if you go on, I think it's Death Wish or above, they have this like bulletproof casing to them. Of course, not nearly as strong as that, because those, of course, are bulletproof. It could be something like maybe Blackbeard's shield, just in a dome form that you can place over, or it can even be something even better and have like an actual bulletproof metal part, where there could be maybe a circle on, or it could be a hole on the top where you could shoot it, or Thatcher, of course, can just fuse them, or can just fry them willy-nilly, because, I mean, they don't have a jammer or anything in them. This could be useful because, let's be honest, a lot of these gadgets, they're good, but they're one-shot. There's really nothing to protect them from that, especially if you say a castle mute combo. That can be a very good combo, especially in Hostage. And you castle up the thing, and then it still has the drone hole at the bottom, but of course you need to place the mute jammer right at the bottom, and they can just go prone and shoot it. Well, if we have now this 3 operator combo, you can just supercharge it. You can have castle barrier, mute jammer, and then this bulletproof casing over that to prevent them from just going prone and shooting it. Yeah, once they get into the room and they can shoot through the little hole at the top like I was talking about and destroy it, but it would just be more effort, and it wouldn't be just something on the fly that they would be able to do. Now, for the operator name that I thought for him, it would be Mushla, which means shell, or Kakon, which means cocoon. Those were 2 alternative names that I could think of. I just thought because shell, cocoon, they're all this hard material that surrounds a soft inside. You all know. For the pistol, for both operators, I was thinking the Mark 23. The Mark 23 is a 45 caliber with either a 10 or 12 round magazine. This, of course, is one of the favored pistols by Grom. They also use the Glock 17 and the USP, but those I've already recommended the Glock in the past, and the USP is already in the game. So now that I have gone through the CTU, the operators, the gadgets, their weapons, even though we aren't getting a map, and I know a lot of people are upset about this, I am still going to suggest one, in case in the future they decide, alright, we have something free, we have some free time, which, I mean, it's unlikely, but who knows. Let's actually make a map for the Polish operators, kind of as a surprise, especially if, well, they get enough flack to actually warrant them doing that. And what from my looking at Poland and the different locations, and the one that I came up with was the Royal Castle in Warsaw. Now, I don't know Polish culture or anything. I don't know if this is offensive to have a location here. I don't know if it's a significant location to you guys that you kind of look at with, you don't want to be, well, you don't want it in the game. I'm sorry. But the reason why I was looking at it was because not only is it a significant building in Warsaw, but also the interior of it seems to have a lot more large open areas or large open spaces than what we're typical to seeing in Siege. I think this would be a good suggestion because think about all the maps in Siege right now, especially the DLC maps. A lot of them have been very claustrophobic, especially Favela. Favela and Yacht have been these really tight, small maps with small hallways, small rooms. You get the idea. Well, this could be a bigger map with bigger engagement areas. This would, of course, encourage the use of ACOGs as their intended use, which is long range, and it could even be better for some of these operators who have lower recoil guns that most people don't really use, like IQ, for example. IQ, her gun is lower recoil, but it still has good damage. And so when it comes to these longer range engagements, the recoil could help her out with them, while the other person may have to try and control a little bit more kick. So other than that, these were my suggestions for the JW Grom, or the Jednoka Wojskowa Grupa Ragowania Oprosino Manowrowego. I'm looking forward to this DLC, or at least what's left of it, because they split it between two different releases. So yeah, we might see the defensive, or we might see the offensive operator. Who knows? If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like, and also leave a comment with your opinion down below. Do you like my suggestions? Do you have any suggestions of your own? Go ahead and let me see them. I love these suggestions, and I love seeing if people agree or disagree. So yeah, that's all for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.